Can you really build a shulker box unloader with just 8 blocks? I'll show you that and my 3x3x3 design right now. Hi, d-Pixie here with a fresh technical video. Today I'm showcasing my 3x3x3 shulker unloader design. I'll show it in operation, go through a 3-step build tutorial, and then I'll show you an even tinier design that uses just 8 blocks. There are chapters in the description, so you can jump directly to the build instructions when you come back to use this video as a reference. And it's also part of my technical videos playlist, so have a look in there for more videos like this one. There's a Lightmatic schematic, world download, and layer by layer images in the description as well, so you can easily try this out for yourself. After I designed the 3x3x3 shulker loader from the previous video, I got curious to see if I could design an equally small unloader. And since this design builds on the loader design, it's also focused on small footprint and resource usage. It's made for our needs on Together SMP, so it's suitable for a small SMP server or a single player world. Might not work well for a massive farm, but try it out and let me know how it works in the comments. As for technical specs, it's similar to the loader. It's about hopper speed, so 9,000 items an hour or just over 5 shulker boxes an hour. It doesn't have an automatic start. As you could see, I had to place the first box manually, but it's easy to add and I'll show you how to do that later in the video. You can also put a lever on this block and just flick it once and it will dispense a box and start running as normal. When it comes to the operation, as long as a box is dispensed with items in it, the comparator is active and hence turns off the redstone torch and redstone line below. The redstone line and target block is there to lock the hoppers, and the redstone torch turning off also pulls back the observer. So when the observer is pushed back again after the box empties and the comparator turns off, the redstone torch turns on and the piston is extended. When it reaches the end position, the observer will pulse once and it goes through the dispenser and this block to the piston thanks to 2 redstone dust that are on top. The execution order is such that the dispenser lags slightly from the piston, so the piston will actually punch out the box with a 0 tick first and then the tick after the new box is dispensed and it starts all over again. Let's get to the build tutorial. There are also layer images linked in the description below, so you can have static images next to you when you build. So the chest is laid out with all the items you need layer by layer. So let's pull out all the items from the first chest. The first hopper, the center one, is the item output, and then it's the empty box output. We need a target block and the 2 redstone dust. And then we can pull out the next layer. We need the comparator and the block that the comparator goes into with the torch, and also the piston that's punching out the box in when it's empty. Final layer, most complicated one. And what we need is the dispenser. We need the dispenser and the block that lets us bud power the piston. We also need the sticky piston with an observer. Yay! And finally we need to jump up here and put down the redstone dust and put in the input hopper. There we go. Optionally you can put a lever here to use for turning it on and off. In that case you would have it like this when you start. When you then put in the boxes, you could just flick this to make it run as normal. Oh, sorry. Should probably be off when you're running, otherwise it won't work. When it started running, it will continue running just fine. So if you want auto start, you need to remove that, and then let's go get the auto start materials. It's just a one block extension on the side. So we'll start with an observer looking up. And on top of that, we need a comparator. I'll explain what it does in a second. The comparator reads the contents of the dropper through the solid block. When it turns on or off, the observer reacts and sends a signal down into this block. We're then going to carry that signal into the same block that we had the lever on before, because if we can trigger a pulse in this block and have the observer extend and retract as it normally does when you switch a box, it's going to start just as when we flicked the lever. So 2 redstone dust, and then we need to extend the signal length because the observer gives a 0 tick or a 1 redstone tick pulse. If you 0 tick a piston, it will spit out its block, so it will drop the block and not pull it back with it. And even if you do a 2 tick pulse, which is enough for the block to still get attached to the piston when it moves, the observer doesn't have time to reset when you move it that quickly, so it won't actually pulse when it reaches the end state. It's too fast. So we need to give it an extra tick so it can extend, the observer can tick, and then it can pull back. So 3 ticks, and that's it. So hopefully when we add a box, it dispenses automatically. There we go. And I did promise you an even smaller design. So this one is 2 by 3 by 3, and it's one of the prototypes that I played with when I built the real one, the one that actually works fully. So this one has one limitation, which you'll see soon. It only has one output hopper. So some of you can probably guess what that means. But for those of you who can't, that means that the items will end up in the same hopper as the unloaded items. So basically you get everything in one box or one output. It might be okay for some cases, and if you're in one of those cases, this is it. See if we can find an actual box here. Okay, so let's put some boxes in. And let's start it. And it's the same manual start procedure as with the other one. And there you go. But since it mixes items and boxes, you need to filter the boxes out, at least normally. And as you can see, the filter for filtering boxes out is a lot larger than building the 3x3x3 shulker box unloader anyway. So in some limited use cases, maybe, I mean, if you're pushing this into a water stream, for example, you have filters further down anyway, then it might be fine to mix the items and the boxes in one. That's it for today. Check out the technical videos playlist, maybe the 3x3x3 shulker loader design, or this video that's been popular recently. Do you know of a simpler or smaller design? Do you have any improvement suggestions? Let's talk in the comments below. Leave a like, or even better, go watch another video. See you soon.